We here at Mayhem Media
understand the trials and tribulations of life.
No matter how hard life can get.
Suicide is never the answer.
There's more assistance available today than ever before.
If you or a loved one are suffering from suicidal thoughts, please don't try and take it on alone.
Call or text 988 if you live in the U.S.
Or if you're in Great Britain, call 116123 or text 85258.
The world is a better place with you in it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the return of Call for the Bell. I am going to be your guest host for a few weeks until Connor Clarkson makes his return, alongside our prediction specialist and co-host, the Wolfman. And for a special guest for this episode, from Popcorn and Whiskey, Andrew Paletto.
Hello, everybody. Looking forward to this. It's got to be fun.
Yeah. We always like to talk wrestling on your show, even though your viewers don't like it a whole lot. So
we do it anyway. What the heck?
Yeah. But it'll be nice to, now we can talk about it and maybe get some viewers tuned in as well and get some interaction going. So let's talk about some things here in the world of wrestling. Let's talk about Penta first, because he's got a couple of different headlines on him. He's just won his first gold in the WWE. Winning the IC title. And Wolfman, you just sent me a report. Why don't you tell us about the what's going on with him? He injured himself in this match.
I don't know if anybody's seen the match, but he went shoulder first into the ring post, and I could hear the impact, and it sounded like a snap and a pop into his shoulder, and it turns out he tore his bicep.
So who first reported that? Because I haven't seen it. I'm not saying it's not true. I just haven't seen it yet. Who reported that?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Hold on one second. I'm looking at it. Give me 1 second. I'll look at it right now. You had just sent it to me. So
because I usually follow a Busted Open podcast, and if they've talked about it, I just missed it. But and I'm sure they have, because they're usually right on top of things.
It looks like it's well, if it's going to come up here.
Well, while he's looking for it, we can
WWE on Pop Culture. It looks like it came from a post from their Facebook page.
Okay.
I don't see any links though. It doesn't look like I can confirm this. It looks like it's just a meme, just a visual post. I don't see any thing to click on to see if it's actually verified. So we can't verify it. I'm sorry?
I'll keep my eye on it, but I'm pretty sure it's true, because as hard as he hit the ring post, I'm surprised it didn't rip his shoulder completely out.
Yeah, well, we'll keep our eye on that. Usually I thought there was a link to it there. I must have missed that when I checked the post out. But
okay, on Google search Google AI overview. It says, yes, current WWE International Champion, Intercontinental Champion Penta is wrestling with significant shoulder and bicep injuries. He revealed in March 2026 that he has been competing for years with a torn bicep or tendon connected to his shoulder, and previously suffered a separate acute shoulder injury in November 2025 during a match against Solo Sikoa.
Yeah, I think that was the You Can't See Me tournament.
Okay. It says he's been wrestling with it for 4 or 5 years, it says here.
Well, when he got injured fighting Solo Sikoa, I think that was the John Cena farewell tour.
Okay.
It got re-aggravated, but I think you're right, Andrew. He's been wrestling with like a partially torn or semi-torn bicep or something for years. I don't know why he doesn't want to take time off for it to heal. Maybe he feels his his momentum is too high right now, that a break would take away from his momentum and set him back. But yeah, he has been wrestling. He was wrestling in AEW injured, but I thought he had taken time off to have it healed. I guess I was wrong on that.
But he's a fighting champion, that's for sure.
Okay, another thing, Fightful.com says Penta confirms he's still wrestling with torn bicep. This was 2 days ago. Okay, so he's still wrestling. He's not out.
Yeah, he's not guy. I mean, the doctors they would have to bench him. He's not gonna take off. He's not ever gonna take off.
Unlike Dominic Mysterio.
After winning the strap, of course not. No.
Yeah, because I remember he said he couldn't wrestle because he had a doctor's note because he had a strained mustache.
Who said that?
Dominic Mysterio.
Dirty Dom.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that. That was like a running thing, and I'm like, that's bullshit.
I'll still put this prediction out there on Dom. Not next year, but the year after or the year after that. So he'll be headlining WrestleMania. Not next year, not in 2027, but in 2028 or 2029.
Maybe, yeah.
If WWE is still around.
Yeah, we're gonna save that for next week, Wolfman. All right, we got the special. Tune in next week for a special episode. Wolfman and I we're doing a double header next week. We're going to be doing a special episode to talk about some of the business behind the WWE. We're going to talk a little bit about the
for that
business
one. I haven't
behind
heard
it.
this.
Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about with that, and then we're also going to do the prediction show for AEW's All In?
Yeah, that's this Saturday.
Yeah, that's this Saturday. We're going to do it
tomorrow.
It'll be on Friday night. No, it's not tomorrow. Is it, Wolfman?
I'm pretty sure you said it. I sent it to you, and you told me it was tomorrow.
No, it was next week.
Oh, okay.
The NXT pay-per-view is tomorrow. There's an NXT pay-per-view this weekend, but next weekend is AEW. We're going to do a doubleheader. We're going to talk about the business of WWE, and Wolfman is actually going to host me giving my predictions on the AEW pay-per-view.
Yep.
So that will also be a lot of fun. But we're going to save that for next week. Wolfman, you wanted to talk about Rollins' return?
Yeah. Everybody knows about the mystery masked man that jumped Logan Paul, and then he got jumped at Elimination Chamber. It turns out those were Seth Rollins. The other guys that were unmasked were Seth Rollins' students from his wrestling school.
Okay.
And then at Elimination Chamber, it turned out that was Seth Rollins when he attacked Logan Paul.
Interesting.
And then he attacked Paul Heyman on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Now, I just also, this is related to Logan Paul, so this is interesting that he's maybe have something cooking in the WWE here. But I just saw it was last minute. It was just in my Facebook feed just as we were about to go live. I can't confirm it or anything, but I saw a post that Jake Paul wants to fight somebody in the NFL from the NFL.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, but someone else just took him up on it. Oh man, do I have the post saved?
Tom Brady wouldn't. It's not going to do that. First of all, he doesn't need the payday, and second of all, he doesn't want to be in a position. At least I don't think he wants to be in a position where win or lose. Because if he loses, they'll say he tanked the fight, or
he doesn't
if he
want
wins,
to
they'll say Jake Paul tanked the fight. So.
Yeah, Logan Paul is wait a minute, we got Jake Paul and Logan Paul. They always confuse the hell out of me here.
Logan is in the WWE. Jake is
the
boxer.
Yes, thank you. Logan Paul is the WWE. Jake Paul is the boxer whose career is likely over after he got smashed.
Yeah, he broke his jaw.
Yeah, he got his jaw broke, and it came out that he wasn't supposed to get hit that hard. Like it was I saw a whole bunch of reports about how he's suing the boxer who I'm totally drawing a blank on.
It wasn't Mike Tyson, but
oh, what's his name? Gosh,
but
Jackson,
the Brit.
Yeah. Okay. All right, I'll look it up.
I'm doing it too, but I'm also not trying to have dead air. So
Nate Diaz.
No. You know what? I'm gonna have to. Yeah, we shouldn't. I gotta look things up before. We need an extra person here. Where's Connor?
Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua. Thank you. He's the one that broke his jaw, and then it came out afterwards that he wasn't the fight wasn't supposed to. He wasn't supposed to hit him in the face that hard or something. So he
had it coming.
Sued. Oh yeah, of course he did. But now that
he's
it came out,
also
the second fight in a row, that parts of it may have been staged or there may have been conditions on the boxing match. I think his career's over, and he's going to start damaging himself as a promoter too.
Wow.
Yeah, and did you see he had it refixed again because he was talking when he wasn't supposed to be talking while it healed?
Well, everyone knows the Tyson fight was a fixed fight. That was rigged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that. But you do know that his company, I think it's called MVP or something like that, is the one promoting the Ronda Rousey. What's her name?
Gina Serrano. But I hear that's not happening now, Andrew. I saw a report. Yeah, I saw a report that says that's not happening now. Rousey doesn't want it.
Okay. Well, hey, we're getting off topic. We're getting off topic.
Supposedly fighting someone else. Well, I mean, wrestling, little MMA.
Yeah.
I mean, It's not like they're. I mean, come on, Andrew, with the swap over with the wrestlers jumping back and forth and the MMA players back and forth. It's not like they're unconnected. Let's be honest. There's been a lot of that recently. But,
so here's something about the Rollins attacking Logan Paul that I thought of, and then I'm listening to whether you like him or not, it's irrelevant, about Jim Cornette, and he said the same thing. So because I started thinking to myself when it happened, like, wait a second, that makes no sense. Why would he attack Logan Paul? Because Logan Paul was not part of the vision when Rollins got attacked by or got speared by what's his name? Strowman. But Logan Paul wasn't part of it. So why is he attacking Logan Paul? I didn't understand.
Because Logan Paul had it coming?
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
So there was another title that just switched hands. The women's Intercontinental title also just switched hands.
Yep.
Wolfman.
AJ Lee.
Yeah.
AJ Lee made Becky Lynch tap out for the second time.
I want to talk. I have plenty to say about that. Okay, because I'm not a huge WWE fan. All right, but what I do know is that having AJ Lee tap out Becky Lynch, I'm asking, what is that? What is that?
Becky Lynch is suing.
What is that? That makes no sense at all to me. To have Becky Lynch tap out to AJ Lee.
The only thing I could figure is because it was in Chicago and they wanted to draw. They don't want people to come in, but I didn't.
That's what I'm thinking.
I didn't agree with that at all.
No, that's so ridiculous. If I was Becky Lynch, I'd be ticked right now to have to put over AJ Lee. That is so outrageous in my opinion.
Unless after Mania, Becky goes after the World Championship again.
See, Andrew, I'm glad you brought that up. That's the only other thing that I can possibly think of is that they clearly want to try and build prestige with the women's Intercontinental title, right? That's the only reason I see it even put that belt on Becky Lynch is to try and help build prestige. A former world champion holding the women's Intercontinental champion. They want the same prestige that the men's Intercontinental championship has, okay? Plenty of world champions have gone, for lack of a better term, they've gone backwards and have reheld the Intercontinental title and then went back and held the world title again.
Gunther did that.
It's not uncommon in the WWE to do that. So I think that helps the Intercontinental title. I think it elevates it. But these past champions are not, they're okay with being Intercontinental champion after they've been world champion. I think it helps build the prestige. And I think it's going to do the same thing for the women's title. So that's why I think that was the only reason they likely put it on Becky Lynch, because she has to go back for the world after the world title, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason I can think that they took it off her is because she's going after the world title again.
Unless she goes after the U.S. title.
No,
I don't think she's won yet.
No, is there a women's U.S. title?
Is there?
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Who has it?
Mm-hmm.
Who has it?
Who's the women's
I just looked it up. It was Chelsea Green, and then it was who had it?
Okay. Chelsea.
I gotta
Green,
look it up.
I got one word to say about Chelsea Green. Well, two words. Hot legs. Holy moly, she's got great legs.
There is a women's United States champion. It's Julia.
Oh,
Yeah, Julia.
She defeated Chelsea Green on SmackDown on January 2nd. So now, oh my goodness. So this is a heck of a, okay. Oh, wow. All right. So
I saw an interview with Chelsea Green, and they asked her if she minds being the joke or the punchline of and the jobber, so to speak, in the girls division, without being taken seriously. She said, "You can say what you want, but doing this role has bought me my new car, bought me my new house, and did all that. So you can say whatever you want to." She goes, "I don't care. It's making me money, and very good money." She said, "Good for her."
And she's married to Zack Ryder.
Really? I
Yep.
didn't know that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. They're either married or dating. I can't remember.
Wow.
All right. Wolfman, we're gonna save the Mania matchups for the next show. We're gonna move that to the next show because we were just talking about titles. So let's talk about both the WWE and the AEW titles here. I did not realize that the WWE had a women's U.S. champion also. So the whole point of this segment is that I think there are too many championships in wrestling right now in both companies. So I'm going to I have the AEW up. Okay, we're going to talk about AEW first, and then we're going to talk about WWE just because I have the visual ready for that. Okay. So here's the list of the current AEW champions and men's champions, women's champions, and team champions. There are five singles championships in the AEW right now. I think that's way too many.
Well, yeah.
Okay, you started with the World Championship and the TNT Championship. Now the TNT Championship, they initially made as like the number 2 title, where if you're the TNT champion, you're likely going to the world picture, soon. One of those, like an intercontinental / US kind of a thing. The first secondary title. But now we have the international, the continental, and the national. What are we doing in AEW? What is that? An international. We need an international champion and a national champion and a continental champion. What do any of these even mean at this point? Have we reached a point in AEW where these 3 belts are basically, what does it matter?
Who knows?
I don't know anything about AEW. I mean, I'm looking it up right now to see who the champions are.
I have it up on the screen.
I can't see that small screen.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, I can make it full screen. Yeah, make it.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's probably, it might be bigger for our viewers. Maybe they can see it a little bit too. But if you can, I understand it is hard to see. But I'm just saying, why are there 5 singles champions? I mean, I don't understand it. And the Continental Championship started from the Continental Classic, which was a tournament style championship. It was just another one of their championships that they awarded at the end of a tournament, like the Owen Hart Championship. Okay, but now it's a championship that's defended and handed around. You only got 2 women's championships, so I guess you could say that's okay. I mean, the TBS Championship and the Women's Championship, and then you got the 2 tags and the Trios Championship. What are your guys' thoughts on 6-man tags? Even if you're not fans of
don't like
AEW, what are your thoughts on the Trios or 6-man championships?
I've never have liked them at all, and even back in the day when Dusty Rhodes and the Road Warriors were the triple champions, whatever they call them. They don't defend them enough, and it's just too chaotic. It's too.
And the Trios Championships in AEW always seem to end up on a bunch of guys who are going to leave the company soon.
Yeah.
It's happened twice.
Yep.
The House of Black, they had them. They had a nice long title reign, but then they dropped them when Malachi Black left, and then there was no re-challenge. So you were getting a lot of one-offs, just like that's what's normal with these 6-man tag championships. Now, they've lasted longer than I predicted. I predicted they'd be gone in 18 months. So the Trios Championships have lasted longer than I thought. But I do think we're going to be on our way with finish with those soon.
See, and something I didn't understand with the AEW, and again, I don't watch it consistently, so maybe I'm off here, but Thomaso Ciampa
Yeah.
who I absolutely love. I think he's
Me
one of
too.
the best performers on the planet. He came in one week, challenged for the championship, won it, and then the following week lost it in the second match. Why even bother giving him the strap if he's going to lose it a week later? What was the point of that?
The only thing I can think of is because they wanted to transition. They wanted to transition someone else to the champion. Maybe they're going to build.
Yeah, but they could have done that without putting Ciampa in the middle of that and make them look like a little putz.
Yeah, and now Kyle Fletcher is the champion.
Yeah.
So, and he's got he's at 17 days. So, I mean, the TNT championship is like hot potato. Let's be honest. I mean, the TNT championship has lost all its prestige.
Yes.
It's been tossed around like a hot potato. And I think that I think the TNT and the I expect the TBS championship on the women's side to either get rebranded or for another new women's championship to make its debut, because I think the TNT and the TBS championships are going to be merged with another title and be done away with. They're on HBO Max now. As long as that deal keeps going, I don't know how much TNT and Time Warner is going to be important. So, and now there's a merger between Paramount and Max, so which we're going to also talk about next week with some of the business stuff. But I think the TBS and the TNT championships, our days are numbered. I think those are going to be merged with other titles soon, because like I said, they have so many and they have such an influx. But they do need a secondary women's title. So if they get rid of the TBS championship, they have to make another title for the women.
I'd have to agree with that. Yeah. So I'm looking at it. It says Willow Nightingale is a TBS champion, but it shows her holding 2 belts.
Yes, she's also the women's tag champions.
Oh, okay. There it is. Yeah. I see it. Yeah. With the Babes of Wrath.
Yes, with Harley Cameron, who's one of my favorite. She might be my favorite women's wrestler. I've been looking for another favorite in the AEW since Britt Baker has been gone for 2 years. I haven't really had a favorite women's except for Julia Hart. I'm really a huge fan of Julia Hart also. I think she's going to be a world champion in the next couple of years too. I think it's good that they kind of took her a step back and they're having her be a tag team now. They got her with Thekla, who's a great person to teach her and to help her learn. So I think Julia Hart's got an amazing career ahead of her, and I hope she sticks with the kind of dark character. I think that works to her advantage as well.
Britt Baker is still on the roster. I'm looking at the website. She's still on the roster.
Well, she hasn't been seen in 2 years, so unless she's about to make a return, which I would make me ecstatic. But Harley Cameron, that's what I was going with. Harley Cameron is one of the people who I really like right now. She's probably my favorite women's champion right now.
Okay. I'm looking at him here and see whatever happened to the English chick. What's her name? The actress chick. The Tony Storm.
Oh, Tony Storm's very much still there. She's running an angle. She's in a tag team. And Tony Khan really shuffled up the women's division and paired a lot of women together to create legitimacy in the tag division. Okay. And but I'm okay with him doing that because he also is letting the women do singles careers, like Willow Nightingale. She's got 2 titles. She's got the tag championship and she's got the TBS championship. The tag teaming with Harley Cameron has not taken away from her singles career. So okay. I like what he's doing and allowing some of these people to kind of hold 2 belts, especially when one of them is a tag belt.
Okay.
So yeah. What else were we going? Oh yeah, we're going to switch to WWE titles now.
And they have
way too many also.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 guys singles, 4 women's singles, 2 guys tag, and 1 women's tag.
And then the NXT.
Then NXT. Oh yeah. Say his name and he appears.
Joe
Hendry.
Listen, you're a Joe Hendry fan.
I'm looking behind
you. Wolfman, are you not a Joe Hendry fan?
I don't care for him.
I just love his entrance. I just love that.
Oh, okay. Then let me ask you guys this anyway. He was just the TNA champion. Now he's the NXT champion because WWE owns TNA, and they obviously think Joe Hendry is one of the people on the roster that can make it in WWE. So they had him drop that title and move to NXT. Do you think that's a step back for him, or is that like a step forward for him? Is TNA really the not even the minor leagues now, because NXT's always been the minor leagues to the WWE. Is NXT now its own brand, and TNA is now the minor leagues? Is that the breeding grounds for WWE now? AAA and TNA, they're the breeding grounds now.
It was. I mean, and it probably still is to an extent, but I think they're making TNA more relevant than it has been the last several years.
Okay.
If that even makes sense. And because of that, it might be equal to NXT, but you're not going to jump up to the WWE unless you go through NXT.
Yeah, they don't let anybody do it.
Or unless you're Jade Cargill. Yeah.
No, I thought Jade Cargill spent some time in NXT too.
Not that I remember. Oh,
she
was?
She was for a little while after the Rumble. She was in the Rumble. They let her debut on the Rumble, but then she went back to NXT for several months.
Okay, my bad. I did not realize that.
No, it's all right. I wasn't entirely sure that I had the information right either on that one. Jade Cargill's been a big mystery. She has improved, and that is one thing that WWE has, man. They have a farm program. They're good at training people and making them better wrestlers. They are.
Well, she will lose to Rhea Ripley.
Yep. Oh, yeah, of course she's going to lose. I mean, I'm not saying that she's going to have a great career in the WWE, but she's gotten better than she was in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, her mic stills are still subpar.
Yeah, she needs to have a mouthpiece with her. They just can't let her be by herself. I don't know who would manage her.
Paul Heyman.
But he doesn't go to chicks. He doesn't manage the chicks.
Yeah. I don't think he does that by design. I don't think that's his style.
Vicky Guerrero might be a good mouthpiece.
I should get booed off the stage if she came back to WWE. I don't think I don't think the crowd would accept her. Put it that way, because he's a little bit old. Funny. Oh, she's hysterical. Absolutely, she's hysterical.
All right, let me run through a couple more AEW things. If you guys want to weigh in on any of them, you can, and then we're gonna talk a little bit of Danhausen. So stay tuned for some Danhausen coming up in just a few minutes. So AEW, I'm really happy with some of the things that they're doing right now, especially with the Don Callus family. I don't know where that's going yet. This super stable that they're building with Don Callus, I would have to be to an implosion or a separation, and then you got two stables. I don't know where it's going, but I really like it. We don't get to see a lot of super stables in wrestling these days. We only get to see one every few years, and I'm a fan of the Don Callus. I love chanting Don Callus sucks. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do when I'm watching AEW. So I'm a huge fan.
You like saying CM Punk sucks.
No, I like to chant CM Punk other things. The battle you're having with the Death Riders right now doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, unless they're trying to make what doesn't make sense to me is that Death Riders have just spent a year as the top heel faction in the company. Mm-hmm. Now, and because Don Callis is always booed above all others, it's universal in AEW. Okay, Don Callis is booed above all others. So now that the Don Callis family are facing the Death Riders, who have been the heel faction, dominant heel faction for the last year, are actually getting some cheers when they face the Don Callis family. So, and meanwhile, some of the Don Callis family are actually almost turning faces and getting cheers. It's really a weird dynamic that they have going with these two stables. So I don't know what they're doing with it. And I like it for the Don Callis family. I don't like it so much for the Death Riders. I like them being this dominant heel faction where they would just trash people and just, nobody liked them. I like that for them. I don't think turning them face is a good idea. After treating them as the dominant heels and these terrible people for over a year, now we're just supposed to switch back and we're supposed to cheer for them. I'm not a fan of that.
Got a question for you, boss.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know if everybody else remembers these guys, but remember in TNA, it was the Aces and Eights?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
I was a fan of that faction too. I didn't really like it.
I was too. And I'm like, that's kind of like NWO.
A little bit, but I also like that they were a little bit of the biker gang. It was also around the time the Sons of Anarchy was at its peak. That's what they were copying off of. It was a biker gang.
Bubba Ray and Dudley.
Yeah, I like that they all had positions. I liked the dynamic that they had there. But again, at the end, you started rotating who was leading them, internal problems, and that seems to be the typical end to most super stables. but I agree. The Aces and Eights was a good one of those larger factions as well. Just like
Yeah, they kind of remind me of the Death Riders, though.
Yeah, a little bit. I think the Death Riders are a little more hardcore, but they get a little bit more freedom on AEW than the Aces and Eights got on TNA. So, absolutely.
But they did some pretty nasty stuff with the Aces and Eights, though.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they did. They did treat them like that kind of biker gang faction of, beating people down and kind of doing what they want. Yeah, they did do a good job of that. And you're right. The Death Riders are kind of like a second incarnation of them. Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I don't want to compare them. They're not the same. They're different factions. But, you could trace some of the other stables or NWO style, have a little bit of that NWO style. So I get what you're saying, though, with the Death Riders having a little bit of that Aces and Eights feel. Brody King, I'm going to say this as a blanket because we don't usually talk about politics and stuff, and I'm not going to on this show. When you're a performer, it's dangerous to wade into the world of politics because you're likely going to offend or alienate half your fan base. If you're a wrestler or a performer, be prepared for that and expect some repercussions if you're going to do that. That's all I'm going to say about it, okay? If you're going to be making political statements, especially in the middle of a show, during a show, be prepared for the backlash that comes with it. I don't care what side you're on, the conservative or the liberal side. I don't care. If you make political statements, be prepared for the backlash of it, okay? That's all we're going to say about Brody King because I'm not really a super fan I was never a super fan of Brody King. I'm even less now. And even if I did agree with some of what he was saying, I think that the wrestling ring is and during a show, in the middle of a show, is a bad place to do it.
Well, isn't AEW, they go to different places and they're chanting F ICE everywhere?
Yes, that's what I'm referring to, actually. It was.
Oh, that's what Brody started that?
Brody started that, yes. That's actually what I'm referring to.
Oh, wow. So I didn't know that.
So that's what I'm saying. That's why I have I think because he's lost half his fan base. He has. There's nothing you can do about that. So, and there's going to be consequences. He was being pushed for a world title run. Now he's not, I guarantee it. He's not going to be the world champion. So he just probably cost himself a run as world champion. And if he's willing to accept that for what he believes, good for him. I'm just saying, if you're going to make political statements, then you got to be prepared for the backlash of it when you're in the entertainment business.
Yep. Wow. I did not know it was him. Wow.
Yeah. So, all right. Jungle Jack Perry. I don't know what's going on with him. I'm really a big fan of him, and I'd like to see him get something with traction. I know Luchasaurus, I think, is out with injury right this second, which is kind of leaving him by himself. But again, the best time he's had as a wrestler has been with Luchasaurus as Jungle Express, the tag team. So I don't know how he can break away from that. I hope he figures out a way to break away from that because I'm a big fan. And also, if anybody didn't know, he is the son of actor from old school Beverly Hills 90210, Luke Perry.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes. So I also want him to succeed because I was a fan of Luke Perry as well.
Okay.
MJF, you guys can disagree with me because you guys are both WWE fans. MJF is the best wrestler on the mic today.
I would have agreed with you 2 years ago. Now, not so much. I think he's gone off the deep end a little bit. I
think he's just evolving his character. And I love everything about MJF. I'm a huge MJF fan, and I think he is the Ric Flair of our time. I think he will be. He will be multi-time world champion. He's going to be the top heel of any company he goes to. He will if he can't already, because I bet you he can right now. He's already shown that he can go from face to heel anytime he damn well pleases. There's not many people that can just do that. And I think in 5 more years, he's gonna, if he wants, he can start a promo in front of the crowd as a heel and finish it as a face. They can be booing him at the beginning and cheering him by the end. He has the crowd in the palm of his hand and can do whatever he wants. There's nobody that can stop him.
I don't watch it enough to know. I just get
Who
clips here and there on YouTube.
Who's the top guy that you would say, Wolfman and Andrew? Who's the top guy with a mic in the WWE right now?
Well, I'm going to say Punk.
Oh
because
man! Boy, I did not realize things were so bad in the WWE. I didn't realize you guys were in that bad of shape.
You got Punk and you got Heyman, or the top two or two. You have
Heyman is Heyman. I'm willing to go. I mean, all right, except for Heyman. I mean, Heyman doesn't wrestle in the ring though. So MJF is that's why
McIntyre is great on the mic.
McIntyre? I've never really heard too much from McIntyre.
Drew is
so I can't
great
really
on the
comment
mic.
on him. I'll have to look
Last couple of years,
up.
he's great on the mic.
Okay, good. But I'm sorry, but if Punk is the two you're going to, I know you're a Punk fan, but really, come on, man. Punk
promo wise, he's the best in the business right now.
Oh man, that's awful.
Now, I mean, as a wrestler, he's the best in the business. Now, the best in the business across the board is by far Heyman. Without a doubt, it's Heyman.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So Heyman is who you guys got, but he's not even a wrestler. So that's what I'm saying. And Punk is your next guy, and I'll agree. Punk has got some mic skills. All right, let's just.
I think the best talker in AEW, and again, I don't watch it enough, so shoot me for this. Is MVP.
MVP's good too. I like MVP
he's the
too.
best you got in
I would not put him over MJF, but again, see but MVP's a manager, so I think a man is, and from terms of a manager, MVP is the Paul Heyman of the AEW, though he's nowhere near Paul Heyman. Let's just be clear about that. MVP is good, but I would not put him at Paul Heyman's level.
No. Well, what about your girl Toni Storm?
Toni Storm is the best female on the mic all time.
Yeah, there's no one in WWE that can touch her.
Nope. I mean, Charlotte Flair is good. I love Becky Lynch when she talks on the mic. There's no one better than Toni Storm. There just isn't.
See, I think Becky is a horrible on the mic when she's a heel.
Well,
horrible.
They don't give her, if you give her long promos. I like her when she's the I don't like to use this, but this was Chris Benoit was never great on the mic. I was always a fan of him in the wrestler, but he was never good on the mic.
No.
But when you gave him the mic for a few seconds to say that I'm going to grind you into the dirt, like he was good for those very short 1 or 2 liners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like and I think that's where Becky Lynch excels. Give her the mic to just say she's going to whoop someone's ass and then let her drop the mic. Like that's where she is best. So, but I agree with you. Becky Lynch is not a great, go out there and cut a 5-minute promo person.
Wolfman, I feel like I'm talking too much, dude. You're not saying much.
He doesn't really watch AEW either.
Okay.
Who would you say is the best with the who would you say is best with a female on WWE? And do you disagree with Andrew on the men's side of it?
I think when I was back in the day, I think it was kind of like a Miz kind of was a good mouthpiece.
Miz is good.
Because, he always wanted to blow his mouth off and, say stupid shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Miz is a performer. Yeah, he's good.
So I got to say Miz is probably better than Punk on the mic.
I forgot about Miz. I'm glad you brought up Miz. He's underrated in every aspect in the wrestling industry, I think. He deserves a lot more credit than I think he gets.
He's definitely a future Hall of Famer. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. He should be Hall of Famer. He should be, and he should get another run with the world title. He's paid his dues. He's done some nonsense.
They'll never put the strap back on him. Not world title wise. No,
probably not. But
that's just my opinion. I think
Miz
is better than Punk.
If he ever gets tired of it, there's always AEW. Just remember that, WWE guys.
He won't go anywhere.
Hey, you know what? Let's talk about that for a minute. Some of the guys, some of the WWE's been picking up some of the AEW guys.
Yeah.
Powerhouse Hobbs is now in WWE.
Which his name is Royce something.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh man, that's terrible. That I think is a big loss. I don't
know
why
they did that. Part of TNA?
What?
Was Oba Femi part AEW or TNA?
He was AEW. No, I don't know who he was. No, he wasn't in AEW unless he was under a different name. But Powerhouse Hobbs is the most recent acquisition. And again, that goes to what I was saying about AEW putting the trios titles on people who are not going to be there in a few months. Powerhouse Hobbs was one of those people. He was having a great singles run. That's something Tony Khan needs to stop doing in AEW. You can't start burying people who want to go to the other company. You can't do that. People are not going to come back if you start doing that. He did it with Ricky Starks. Huge mistake. He did it with Powerhouse Hobbs and putting him in with the trios title when he was having a good singles run, burying him. Danhausen, and to shift to Danhausen. How did you bench him for the last 6 months of his contract in AEW? How did you not do anything with him for his last 6 months? How did you not capitalize on all the gear that he would sell? Huge mistake. Tony Khan is making huge mistakes when people want to go to the other place. You have to be, in wrestling especially, you have to be willing with people leaving, coming back, going away again, coming back. That's the wrestling business. It's unlikely you're going to lock everybody in for the rest of their career. So you can't start burying people. You can't do that. That's going to be really bad.
To me, it kind of feels like the trios championships. After those guys have the championships, they jump ship. It's kind of like the pink slip. Kind of, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So if you get those trios championships, that means you're not going to be in that company for that much
I'm
longer.
concerned for Samoa Joe. I know he was the world champion, and then they got the trios champions. Now that they lost the trios champions, I'm hoping that Samoa Joe will be doing something else because the other guy, who had said what? It's the Ops are still together, I guess, but I hope that they're going to do something with them and not just because I'm a huge fan of Hook too. I think Hook's is a great performer, and I'd like to see more out of Hook too. So let's talk about Danhausen.
I'm looking at the WWE roster, the full roster, and they do not have Danhausen on the roster.
That is hilarious.
Yes, it is.
He probably cursed it.
So Danhausen in the WWE. AEW admittedly tried to do some good things with him, but I don't think Tony Khan, he's still too all over the place. He's really got to get a hold of his shows. So I think Danhausen is going to flourish in the WWE. I think people are going to tune in specifically to see what Annex Danhausen is up to. And Andrew, you don't know much about Danhausen.
When he came out last week at the chamber, I'm looking at the TV and I'm like, what the hell is that? And I'm just looking. I didn't know what it was. And then the crowd started booing him. Like I would boo too if I was there. What the heck?
I couldn't believe they booed him. Yeah,
I could. Then no one knew who he was.
Well, turn on a different company once in a while.
That's why.
You individual, you monopoly wielders. Well, you want WWE to control all of wrestling, but you're not afraid.
I don't even know when AEW is on or what channel they're on.
HBO Max. They're on Max. You can. Their whole libraries there.
Well, I thought didn't they used to be on TBS or something?
They're still on TBS and TNT weekly or whatever, but Max is where you can their whole library. You can go watch every Dynamite.
Did I see a commercial the other day? It said they're on AMC as well.
I don't think so. I'm not aware. I'm not familiar. I'm not aware of that. If they got another deal or something, especially with Paramount buying Max, that's going to be something we have to talk about next week. So Danhausen, Danhausen is a character, straight character. I wouldn't say
he's funny.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's the best in the ring. I don't know how much he offers inside the ring. I don't know that he's ever going to be a world champion, but he has the showmanship. He has a character that people respond to. The indie world knows it better than anybody. And in the WWE, where characters and performance are almost more valued than your wrestling ability, I think he's going to flourish. I would put a belt on him in 6 months. I would let him do a whole bunch of stuff, start doing curses. I would completely manipulate the roster around Danhausen. If he puts a curse on somebody, you lose that night. I don't care if you're the champion. Danhausen's put a curse on you, you lose.
That's how Dominic lost his title.
Why?
And I would completely play into that character.
Why? I don't get it. What's
because people love it.
Love what?
Danhausen. They love Danhausen.
I understand what you're saying, but what's there to love? That's what I don't understand. Where's the appeal? I'm not saying that as
I get what you're saying.
I don't see it.
The only way I can describe is that you have to see more of him to understand him. When I first saw him, my buddy Merck, introduced me to Danhausen. He was the one that introduced me to Danhausen. He's like, dude, AEW got Danhausen. I'm like, I don't know who that is. And he's like, oh my goodness, you don't know who Danhausen is?
Yeah, how come you only one wrestling company guy? Is that all you are?
Yeah. Shout out to Johnny Lee. Go check out the Nice Guy Andy podcast. Thanks for stopping in, Johnny Lee. No, but he was like straight indie guy. Like he wasn't on any of the major companies. He had never even been in TNA before that. Like the only place you could find him was on his own channels and stuff. Go look up his own channels. That's where you're going to see some Danhausen. But he's just like, after I saw him a couple times, I was like, I love this guy. This is just fantastic. I don't know what it is, but everybody loves Danhausen because of his just weird nature. He's just weird. He puts curses on people, and then you want them to be true. And then when they turn out to be true, you are just cheering. Because
like Wolfman said, he put the curse on Dominic the other night.
Yes, because he's Danhausen. He is very good. He is very evil.
Kind of reminds me. I don't know if you guys remember Sven Gulli.
No, I don't think I remember him.
I remember the name, but I don't know. I think it's because Cornette talks about Sven Gulli on his podcast every so often.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of a Sven Gulli character.
I like him.
Which I don't know what that is still. What is Sven Gulli? Is he a wrestler or is he a
TV show? It's an old like TV show. He shows like old horror films and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And he has the same kind of face paint.
I wonder if that's where Danhausen took his inspiration, maybe.
But I do know because some little vignettes I saw on YouTube and stuff that he has trademarked his face paint.
His Danhausen. He doesn't. Yeah, he like the WWE had to get Danhausen. They couldn't get Danhausen and brand him with a different name. It wouldn't work. He has his brand.
Yes,
he made it himself. That's what also makes him unique. I mean, a lot of wrestlers are starting to do this now. But even look at Powerhouse Hobbs. When he went to WWE, still had to take on a different name, didn't he?
Well, not really, because at the Rumble, when he came out, it had Powerhouse Hobbs up there, and then they faded it out and put the new name up there, Royce, whatever his name is. It was the strangest thing, and I'm looking at that like, what?
That's because that's what I'm saying though. But that's what WWE will rebrand some people, but not others. Because when a person like Danhausen, you can't rebrand him. He owns the gimmick, so you have to take him. Just like CM Punk and his music. I credit CM Punk for having a deal with the band to have his music. That's his fucking entrance music. That doesn't belong to a company. He takes that to AEW, he takes that to WWE, he takes it to TNA, he takes it to wherever he goes. That's his music. He's got the deal with the band. I think that's the most innovative thing that we've seen in wrestling since Danhausen is to have your own music with your own deal with a band for your own theme music, so you can take it with you to whatever company you go to. I think that's huge for CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the same thing for Danhausen. He built his character. He built his gimmick. He is going to be Danhausen. I don't think he would accept the deal if he couldn't be Danhausen.
Well, I think they really blew his debut.
Oh, nobody was going to. I think they did too, but only because they put him in that stupid box.
Yeah.
The box thing doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about that. Let's talk about that, Wolfman. I think you were, or was it me and you, Andrew? I don't remember who I was talking about it with. I was talking to
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. No.
I was talking to someone about entrance buildups. Like when you have a buildup and you have a countdown timer. Oh, at this time, this is going to be opened. We're going to see what this is. You're setting yourself up for failure because half the people have it in their head. It's going to be one thing. Half the people have it in their head. It's going to be another thing. And when it turns out to be neither, all you've done is piss off your entire fan base, which is what happened to Danhausen. You can't do that, okay? Just like the gobbledygooker. That's what people expect now. That's what it is. That's why they're comparing Danhausen's thing to the gobbledygooker. And because of the fans, it's only because of the fans that was the case, because you were anticipating something else. So don't do the long reveals. Don't do that. You should have just had him come out and curse somebody. And that would have put him over immediately. Have him come out before a match, have him curse somebody, and then have that person get rolled right up. 1, 2, 3. Danhausen's over. The people are erupting in laughter and cheers because they can't just believe what they saw. And now you just sold 10 million Danhausen shirts.
Now, does he wrestle?
He does, but it's not
Yeah.
his. He does, but that's not what you're going to get out of him. That's not why you bought him. That's not why you brought him to WWE. You brought him for his performances. You brought him for Danhausen.
Okay.
You brought him. R. Kelly is the same. R. Truth. R. Kelly. R. Truth. Sorry, everybody. I had a little little left brain, right brain thing happening there. R. Truth is the same way. Except R. Truth is a really great wrestler too. But
I've met R-Truth.
Danhausen is that kind of character. He's the R. Truth kind of character. He has that kind of ability to just be funny on the spot, do whatever he wants, and people are going to eat it up. He has that capability. The difference is that Danhausen is not a super in-ring general. He's good.
No.
He can wrestle, but you're not going to get a 5-star hour-long match out of Danhausen.
No, probably like a 10, 15-minute.
Johnny Lee was a fan of Danhausen's debut. Thank you, Johnny Lee. At least there was one fan who was a fan of it. I thought it was not a good idea for that, but only because of the box thing. I liked that Danhausen debuted, but I liked the debut, but I think the box idea was bad for him. I don't think that helped him get over.
Well, I think the whole having anybody come out of the box was dumb because you had the box sitting there for 2 weeks. It was just dumb if you're going to do it that way. That's what
I think it would have been. Oh, sorry, Andrew.
No, go ahead.
I just had like an epiphany in my head. Like, you know how the Undertaker kind of just like automatically appears out of freaking nowhere? Picture that, but with Danhausen appearing in the middle of the elimination chamber and cursing somebody, and then just disappearing.
I think, I like that too. I also like my idea of just have him coming down, just even in a match, someone that can get pinned in 3 seconds, just have him coming out and curse somebody. Could even be a nobody, could be a local dude.
Throws them off.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the fans were eating up Jericho. They were all over Jericho. The WWE universe is excited that Jericho is coming home. If that's where Jericho, for me as a fan, if that's where Jericho wants to be, then I'm happy for him. He's had a great career. If he wants to finish in the WWE, then let him finish in the WWE. He probably wants to get into the Hall of Fame, and he knows he can't do that unless he finishes in the WWE, which is also, I think, something BS on the WWE side.
Well, now let's back up a couple of years. When they brought in DX, they had Billy Gunn there from AEW. He was there.
Right?
Yes, they did.
Okay, that's right. And Tony, I remember that now. Yeah, Tony Khan actually let Billy go, which I praised Tony Khan for at the time, if I'm not mistaken, because yes, you should do that. That should be allowed. But I don't know. But the Hall of Fame, I don't know. Maybe.
Well,
but anyway, either way, if Jericho wants to finish in the WWE, then let him finish there. He's had a career. He's earned the right to finish wherever he wants to be finished.
Let me backtrack just a second, because we're talking about Powerhouse Hobbs or whatever his name is here. I'm looking at the WWE current roster, and I'm not even seeing him on here anywhere.
Well, they need to upgrade their WWE. Update your rosters.
Yeah, exactly.
So Superfly Johnny Lee saying that they were doing some Jericho hints. That maybe that's why the fans were thinking it was Jericho. But if they'd have maybe dropped a few Danhausen hints, maybe it wouldn't have taken such a left turn. You might be right about that, Johnny Lee, but I also don't know about that long build-up either. I
think the hints weren't dropped by the WWE, and I could be wrong with this, but the fans were throwing them out there left and right, which caused other fans to say, hey, WWE's putting them out. I don't think the WWE dropped the hints. If they did, I could be totally wrong with that. So it's Superfly if we're out there, and if I'm talking out the side of my mouth, so be it. But that's where I was under the impression of that the fans were dropping the hints, which in turn made other fans think it was the WWE dropping the hints.
Yeah, that could have been too. Superfly Johnny Lee says that there was a quote, I guess, Triple H to Billy Gunn. Let's be real. Vince will buy that pissant company just to fire you.
Exactly.
I believe Vince would do that. I don't believe Tony Khan would do that. I honestly believe that you could offer Tony Khan 50 times what he put into AEW. I don't think he would sell it. I think Tony Khan is too much of a fan, and he's having too much fun running a wrestling company. That's also part of the problem for AEW. And we're going to talk about, tune in next week, Johnny Lee. Tune in next week. Wolfman and I are going to talk some WWE business behind the books and let some people know what's actually going on in the world of WWE and TKO Sports, because it's not what people think it is. And WWE at this point, maybe Vince could have before he took it public and stuff, but there ain't no TKO ain't buying AEW. WWE sure as shit ain't buying AEW. Triple H ain't buying AEW. So that ain't gonna happen. AEW is going to live or die by its own capabilities at this point, and that's just my opinion.
By the
Which makes
sword,
sense.
die by the sword.
Well, I think we pretty much filled out this whole episode. I didn't think we were actually going to go a full hour, but we did almost go a full hour. So Call for the Bell has officially made its return. Next week, we are going to do Wolfman. We're doing the doubleheader next week. We're doing the AEW prediction show, and we're going to talk some WWE business. Both of those are, I don't know if both of those are going to be live episodes. One of them will probably be a live episode. The other one might be recorded that we release on Saturday then. But yeah, next week we got the doubleheader. Business, some of the business behind WWE, and then we got the AEW, our first AEW prediction show for All In, I believe is what the event is.
Did you want to plug my merchandise before you take down the old logo?
Oh, sure. Yes. If you want any of the Wolfman original gear, the Wolfman 1.0, as it were called, on the storefront, make sure you go get it, because we got some new designs, some upgraded and updated designs for the Wolfman that we're going to be putting on the storefront here in the next few weeks. So the Wolfman apparel that is there now is a limited time only. I'll be taking it down. So if you want any original Wolfman gear, pick it up now. Don't wait, because we're going to be taking it down soon.
Yep.
Make sure everybody goes to check out Andrew Paletto's page, Popcorn and Whiskey, Top Fitness Strategies. Go check out his content, and even his new series, his driving series, which is a pretty cool list, just easy listening, just something to put on in the background and listen to, kind of a thing. So he's a man of many talents also. Make sure you go check him out. Go give him a follow, and make sure you tell him that Mayhem Media sent you.
That's right.
All right. Until next time, we're going to also shout out Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc. I got the name right this time, guys. Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc. Make sure you go give them a follow. Check them out, and tell them that Mayhem Media sent you. And, of course, go check out Superfly, Johnny Lee, and the Nice Guy Andy podcast. For Andrew Paletto, the Wolfman, I am your host, JD, the bad guy of podcasting, and that's the end.